Hi friends, I am Uday Kandpal and I welcome you all to yet another lecture on NCERT Class 7 History Chapter 9 with Fact Elaboration by Uday Kandpal. The name of the chapter is The Making of Regional Cultures. So let's start. The growth of regional language. Bengali. We assume that people in Bengal always spoke Bengali. However, that is interesting. What is interesting is that while Bengali is now recognized as language derived from Sanskrit, early Sanskrit texts, the mid-first millennium BC, suggest that the people of Bengal did not speak the Sanskritic languages. From the 4th-3rd century BC, commercial ties began to develop between Bengal and Magad, which may have led to growing influence of Sanskrit. During the 4th century, the Gupta rulers established a political control over North Bengal and began to settle Brahmanas in this area. The Brahmins in the area. Thus, the linguistic and the cultural influence from the mid-Ganga valley became stronger. In the 7th century, the Chinese traveler Xuanzang observed that languages related to Sanskrit were in use all over Bengal. From the 8th century, Bengal became the center of a regional kingdom under Palas. Between the 14th and the 16th century, Bengal was ruled by the Sultan, who was who were independent of the rulers in Delhi. In 1586, when Akbar conquered Bengal, it formed the nucleus of the Bengal Suba. While Persian was the language of administration, Bengali developed as a regional language. Thus, although Bengali is derived from Sanskrit, it passed through several stages of evolution. Also, a wide range of non-Sanskritic words derived from a variety of sources including tribal languages, Persian and European languages have become part of the modern Bengali. Earlier, Bengali literature may have divided into two categories, one indebted to Sanskrit and the other independent of it. The first includes translations of the Sanskrit epics, the Mangal Kavyas, literally the auspicious poems dealing with the local deities, and Bhakti literature such as the biography of Chaitanya Dev, the leader of Vaishnava Bhakti movement. The second includes Nath literature such as the song of Mainamati and Gopi Chand, stories concerning the worship of Dharm Thakur, and fairy tales, folk tales, and ballads. So let's talk about the regional languages of India state-wise. State-wise, the Andaman and Nicobar Island, the first language is Bengali, the second language is Hindi, the third language is Tamil, the fourth language is Telugu, and the fifth language is Malayalam. For Andhra Pradesh, the first language is Telugu, second language is Urdu, third language is Hindi, fourth language is Tamil, and fifth language is Marathi. For Arunachal Pradesh, first language is Nishi, second language is Adi, third language is Bengali, fourth language is Nepali, fifth language is Hindi. For Assam, the first language is Assamese, the second language is Bengali, the third language is Hindi, the fourth language is Bodo, the fifth language is Nepali. For Bihar, first language is Hindi, that is mixture of Bhojpuri and Magahi, and second language is Maithili, third language is Urdu, fourth language is Bengali, fifth language is Santali. Chandigarh, first language is Hindi, second is Punjabi, third is Urdu, fourth is Nepali, fifth is Bengali. Chhattisgarh, first is Hindi or Chhattisgarhi, second is Odia, third is Bengali, fourth is Telugu, fifth is Marathi. Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu. First language is Gujarati, second language is Hindi, third language is Marathi, fourth is Konkani, and fifth is Bengali. Delhi, first language is Hindi, second language is Punjabi, third language is Urdu, fourth language is Bengali, fifth language is Maithili. Goa, first language is Konkani, second language is Marathi, third language is Hindi, fourth language is Kannada, fifth language is Urdu. Gujarat, first language is Gujarati, second language is Hindi, third language is Sindhi, fourth language is Marathi, fifth language is Urdu. Haryana, first language is Hindi, that is Haryanivi or Mewati, second language is Punjabi, third is Urdu, fourth is Bengali, fifth is Maithili. Himachal Pradesh, first is Hindi, second is Punjabi, third is Nepali, fourth is Kashmiri, fifth is Dogri. Jammu and Kashmir, first language is Kashmiri, second is Dogri, third is Hindi, fourth is Punjabi, fifth is Pahadi. Jharkhand, first language is Hindi, that is Bhojpuri, Magahi and Nagpuri, second is Santhali or Santhali, third is Bengali, fourth is Urdu, fifth is Odia. Karnataka, first is Kannada, second is Urdu, third is Telugu, fourth is Tamil, fifth is Marathi. Kerala, first is Malayalam, second is Tamil, third is Tulu, fourth is Kannada, fifth is Konkani. Ladakh, first is Ladakhi or Bhoti, second is Purgi, third is Shina, fourth is Hindi, fifth is Beti. Then Lakshadweep, first is Malayalam, second is Tamil, third is Hindi, fourth is Bengali, fifth is Telugu. Then is Madhya Pradesh. First is Hindi, second is Marathi, third is Urdu, fourth is Sindhi, fifth is Gujarati. Then is Maharashtra. First is Marathi, second is Hindi, third is Urdu, fourth is Gujarati, fifth is Telugu. There is Manipuri or Manipur. First is Manipuri, second is Nepali, third is Hindi, fourth is Bengali, fifth is English. Then is Meghalaya. First is Khasi, second is Garo, third is Bengali, fourth is Nepali, fifth is Hindi. Then is Mizoram. First is Mizo, second is English, third is Hindi, fourth is Manipuri, fifth is Chakma. Then Nagaland. First is Naga language, second is English, third is Hindi, fourth is Assamese, fifth is Manipuri. Then is Odisha. First is Odia, second is Hindi, third is Santali, fourth is Urdu, fifth is Telugu. Then it's Puducherry. First is Tamil, second is Telugu, third is Malayalam, fourth is French, fifth is English. Then Punjab. First is Punjabi, second is Hindi, third is Urdu, fourth is Bengali, fifth is English. Then Rajasthan. First is Hindi, Rajasthani, second is Punjabi, third is Urdu, fourth is Sindhi, fifth is Gujarati. Then Sikkim. First is Nepali, second is Hindi, third is Bengali, fourth is Urdu, fifth is Punjabi. Then Tamil Nadu. First is Tamil, second is Telugu, third is Kannada, fourth is Urdu, fifth is Malayalam. Telangana. First is Telugu, second is Urdu, third is Marathi, fourth is Kannada, fifth is Hindi. Tripura. First is Bengali, second is Kokborok, third is Assamese, fourth is English, fifth is Manipuri. Then Uttar Pradesh. First is Hindi including Awadhi, Bhojpuri, Brajbhasha and Khadi Boli. Second is Urdu, third is Punjabi, fourth is Nepali, fifth is Bengali. Uttarakhand. First is Hindi including Garhwali, Kumaoni and Jaunsari. Second is Urdu, third is Punjabi, fourth is Bengali, fifth is Nepali. Then is West Bengal. First is Bengali, second is Hindi, third is Santali, fourth is Urdu, fifth is Nepali. So these are the languages of India. Then evolution of food in India. While many ancient Indian recipes have been lost in history, one can look at ancient texts to see what have been eaten in the ancient and the prehistoric India. They were rice cake, curd, sugar, ghee, breadfruit, pomegranate, mango, rose apple, barley, mustard, figs, betel leaves, honey, salt, saffron, sesame oil, grapevine, turmeric, sugarcane, chickpeas, sorghum. During the Middle Ages, several Indian dynasties were predominant, including the Gupta dynasty. Traveling to India during this time introduced new cooking methods and products to the region, including tea. India was later invaded by the tribes from the Central Asian cultures, which led to the emergence of Mughlai cuisine, a mix of Indian and Central Asian cuisine. Hallmarks include seasonings such as saffron. And staple foods of India cuisine include the pearl millet bajra, rice, whole wheat flour, atta, and variety of lentils such as masoor ki dal, offer red lentils, tur, pigeon peas, urad, bagram, and moong beans. Lentils may also be used whole, dehusked, for example, thuli moong, thuli urad, or split. Split lentils or dal are used extensively. Some pulses such as the chana or chole, chickpeas, rajma, kidney beans, and lobia, black eyed peas are very common, especially in the northern regions. Chana and moong are also processed into flour basin. Many Indian dishes are cooked in the vegetable oil, but the peanut oil is popular in the northern and the western India. Mustard oil in eastern India, and coconut oil along the western coast, especially in Kerala and the parts of southern Tamil Nadu. Gingerly or sesame oil is common in the south since it imparts a fragrant nutty aroma. In recent decades, sunflower, safflower, cottonseed, and soybean oils have become popular across India. Hydrogenated vegetable oil, known as vanaspati ghee, is another popular cooking medium. Butter-based ghee or deshi ghee is used frequently, though less than in the past. Many types of meat are used for Indian cooking, but chicken and mutton tend to be the most commonly consumed meats. Fish and beef consumption are prevalent in some parts of India, but they are not widely consumed except for coastal areas as well as the northeast. The most important and frequently used spices and flavorings in India cuisine are whole or powdered chili pepper, the mirch, introduced by Portuguese from Mexico in the 16th century, black mustard seeds, sarso, cardamom, elaichi, cumin, jeera, turmeric, haldi, asafoetida, hing, ginger, adrak, coriander, dhania, and garlic lehsun. One popular spice mix is garam masala, a powder that typically includes 7 dried spices in a particular ratio, including the black cardamom, cinnamon, dalchini, clove, long, cumin, jeera, black pepper, peppercorns, coriander seeds, and anise star. The Chedas and the development of Malayalam. So we'll talk about the Malayalam language. The Chera kingdom of Mahodaipuram was established in the 9th century in southwestern part of the peninsula part of the present-day Kerala. It is likely that Malayalam was spoken in the area. The rulers introduced Malayalam language and script into their inscriptions. In the fact, this is one of the earliest examples of use of a regional language in official records in the subcontinent. The temple theatre of Kerala, which is traced to the period, borrowed stories from Sanskrit epics. The first literary works in Malayalam dated to about 12th centuries are directly indebted to Sanskrit. Interestingly enough, of 14th century text, the Leela Latikam, dealing with the grammar and poetics, was composed in the Manipravalam, literally diamonds and corals, referring to the two languages, Sanskrit and the regional languages. Malayalam is a Dravidian language spoken in the Indian state of Kerala and the Union territories of the Lakshadweep and Puducherry, the Mahe district, by Malayali people. It is one of the 22 scheduled languages of the India spoken by nearly 2.88% of the Indians. Malayalam has official language status in the state of Kerala and the Union territories of Lakshadweep and Puducherry Mahe and is spoken by 34 million people worldwide. Malayalam is also spoken by the linguistic minorities in the neighboring states with a significant number of speakers in the Nilgiris, Kanyakumari, Coimbatore, Tenkasi, Teni district of Tamil Nadu and Kodagu, Dakshina Kannada districts of Karnataka. The rulers and the religious traditions, the Jagannath cult. In other regions, the religious culture grew around the religious traditions. The best example of the process was the cult of Jagannath. The 12th century, one of the most important rulers of Ganga dynasty, Anantavarma, decided to erect a temple of Purushottam Jagannath at Puri. Subsequently, in 1230, King Anakh Bhim dedicated his kingdom to the deity and proclaimed himself as the deputy of the god. As the temple gained in importance in center of pilgrimage, its authority in social and political matters are also increased. All those who conquered Odisha, such as Mughals, the Marathas, and the English East India Company, attempted to gain control over the temple. They felt that this would make this rule acceptable to the local people. Lord Jagannath has always remained as mysterious to the knowledge of mankind. The origin of Jagannath cult is shrouded in obscurity. The veil of darkness that prevails over this cult has not been lifted till today. However, God Jagannath has been accepted as the representative of the Odia people and embodiment of love, a guiding force behind the cultural heritage and of this land, a synthesis of all the Hinduist faiths, and finally the God of the universe. The cult of Jagannath embodies universal brotherhood, combining elements of Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and native religious practices of tribal people. The presiding deities of the temple, the Jagannath, his elder brother Balbhadra, and younger sister Subhadra, portrayed in black, white, and yellow, represents the three major races of humanity according to noted religious and social commentators. The cult of Jagannath shows special concern and compassion for the lowliest and the most unfortunate in society. In this spirit, the universal love that has attracted even Muslim devotees such as Sal Beg, whose songs in the praise of Lord Jagannath are popular among all Odiyas and devotees all over the world who celebrate the car festival or Rath Yatras or Lord Jagannath with ardent passion. Jagannath cult is an amalgam of diverse religious cults like tribal religion, Brahmanical religion, Buddhism, Saivism, Shaktism, Tantricism, and Vaishnavism. The prevalent religion the prevalent religious trends in the Orissa assimilated in the cult of God Jagannath is due course of time. With the gradual march of time, all the religious sects mingle in the cult of Jagannath. Every Hindu pantheon saw its god or goddesses in him. Even today, Jagannath, the Lord of the Universe, is honored and worshipped by the followers of different religious sects in India. And we will talk about Rajputs and the traditions of heroism. Rajput is a large multi-component of clusters of castes, kin bodies and local groups, sharing social status and ideology of genealogical descent originating from the Indian subcontinent. The term Rajput covers various patrilineal clans historically associated with warriorhood. According to modern scholars, almost all Rajput clans originated from peasants or pastoral communities. In the 19th century, the region that constitutes most of the present-day Rajasthan was called Rajputana by the British. There were and are several groups who identify themselves as Rajputs in many areas of northern and central India. And of course, there are several people in other than the Rajputs who live in Rajasthan. However, the Rajputs are often recognized as contributing to the distinctive culture of Rajasthan. These cultural traditions were closely linked with the ideals and aspirations of rulers. From about the 8th century, most of the present-day state of the Rajasthan was ruled by various Rajput families. Stories about Rajput heroes were recorded in the poems and songs, which were recited by specially trained minstrels. These preserved the memories of heroes and were expected to inspire others to follow their example. Ordinary people who also attracted by these stories, which often depicted dramatic situations also, and a range of strong emotions, loyalty, friendship, love, valor, anger, etc. Now, we'll talk about some notable Rajputs. Rawal Jaisal Singh, king and founder of the city of Jaisalmer. Rawal Ratan Singh, king of Mewar, who fought against Alauddin Khilji in the siege of Chittorgarh. Rana Hamid Singh, king of Mewar, who following an invasion by the Khilji dynasty regained the control of the region, re-established the dynasty after defeating the Tughlaq dynasty and became the first of his dynasty to use the royal title Rana. Rao Jodha, king of Marwar and founder of its capital city Jodhpur. Rana Kumbha, king of Mewar, who expanded his territory at a time when he was surrounded by the enemies of from Malwa Sultanate, Gujarat Sultanate, and Marwar. Rao Bika, founder and the king of Bikaner, he was son of Rao Jodha. He left the Marwar to create his own kingdom. Rao Shekha, king of Amritsar. Rai Bullar Bhati, a Muslim Rajput who donated 18,750 acres of land to Guru Nanak. Man Singh Tomar, king of Gwalior, who defended his kingdom for nearly 2 decades against relentless attack from the Lodi dynasty. Rana Sanga, king of Mewar and head of Rajput Confederacy in Rajputana during the early 16th century. Hassan Khan Mewati, ruler of Mewat, he allied his with Rana Sanga in the Battle of Kanwa. Maldev Rathod, king of Marwar, was an insurgent ruler against both the Sur Empire and the Mughals. Rana Uday Singh II, king of Mewar and founder of the capital city of Udaipur. Isa Khan, a Muslim Rajput chieftain who led the Baro Bhuyans 12th century and 16th century Bengal. Throughout his reign, he resisted the Mughal attacks. Maharana Pratap of Mewar, Maharana Pratap Singh, king of Mewar, who was a successful insurgent ruler against the Mughals. Chandrasen Rathod, king of Marwar, who defended his kingdom for nearly 2 decades against a relentless attack from the Mughals. Man Singh I, king of Amber, a state later known as Jaipur, he was trusted general of the Mughal Emperor Akbar, who included in among the Navratnas or the 9 gems of his royal court. Maharana Amar Singh I, king of Mewar, he was the eldest son of Maharana Pratap, who continued his father's struggle against the Mughals and defeated the Mughal army sent by Jahangir in the Battle of Diwar. Dullah Bhatti, rebel against Akbar. Veer Singh Dev, king of Orchha, he assassinated Abul Fazl on the request of Jahangir. Amar Singh Rathod was a nobleman affiliated to Marwar who rebelled against Shah Jahan. Rao Raja Chhattar Sal, king of Bundi, he served as Shah Jahan as the head of his Hada Rajput troops. He was trusted by Dara Shikoh with the governorship of Delhi, from whom he died fighting in the War of Succession against Aurangzeb in 1658. Maharana Raj Singh I, king of Mewar, he fought against the Aurangzeb's imperial forces multiple times, once by denouncing the jizya. He also gave aid to Durgadas Rathod of Marwar during the Rathod rebellion. Maharaja Jaswant Singh, king of Marwar, he was trusted general of the Mughal Empire Shah Jahan. Durgadas Rathod's painting in the Mehrangarh Museum. Durgadas Rathod was a minister of Marwar who was successful in preserving Marwar against the Mughal rule. Then Maharaja Chhatrasal of Bundelkhand. Maharaja Chhatrasal, king of Bundelkhand, also led a successful rebellion against Mughal and established his own independent kingdom. Maharaja Ajit Singh, king of Marwar, he made an alliance with the Sayyid brothers against Farrukh Shiar and fought Farrukh Shiar in the Red Fort. And after a night-long battle on 28 February 1719, Farrukh Shiar was defeated and deposed. Banda Singh Bahadur. Banda Singh Bahadur was a Sikh military commander of Khalsa army who assembled a fighting force and led the rebellion against the Mughals, who established a Khalsa rule in Punjab. Jai Singh II, king of Amber and founder of its capital Jaipur. Joravar Singh Kehluria Rajput, who conquered the Ladakh, Baltistan, Gilgit and Western Tibet. Maharaja Gulab Singh, first Maharaja of Jammu and Kashmir. Rana Ratan Singh was a rebel against the British rule who was affiliated to the Sodhas of Umarkot. Kunwar Singh, an illustration of Kunwar Singh in the history of Indian Empire, 1858. Veer Kunwar Singh, ruler of Jagdishpur, rebel leader in the Indian Rebellion of 1857 against the British rule. Sir Pratap Singh of Idar was a career British Army officer, served as ADC aide-de-camp to Edward VII from the 1887 to 1910. He commanded his regiments heroically during the First World War in France and Flanders from 1914 to 1915, and in the Palestine Mandate at Haifa and Aleppo. He was promoted to the Lieutenant General in 1916. Sir Bhagwat Singh Ji of Gundal, a modern reformist visionary, he studied medicine at the University of Edinburgh, from where he graduated as a medical doctor in 1895. During the First World War, he commanded the Bikaner Camel Corps, which served in France, Egypt, and Palestine. He was also the only non-white member of the British Imperial War Cabinet during the World War I. Maharaja Hari Singh, the last ruler of Jammu and Kashmir. So let's talk about some dance forms like Kathak. Kathak is one of the 8 major forms of Indian classical dance. The origin of Kathak is traditionally attributed to the traveling bards of the ancient northern India, such as Kathaks or storytellers. The term Kathak is derived from the Vedic Sanskrit word Katha, which means story, Kathakar, which means the one who tells a story, to do with stories. Kathak evolved with the Bhakti movement, particularly by incorporating the childhood in the stories of Hindu god Krishna, as well as independently in the court and the court of the North Indian kingdoms. Kathak is unique in having both Hindu and Muslim gharanas and cultural elements. Under the Mughal emperors and their nobles. Kathak was performed in the court where it acquired its present feature and developed into a form of dance with distinctive style. Subsequently, it developed into two traditions of Gharanas, one in the court of Rajasthan, Jaipur, and the other in Lucknow. Under the patronage of Wajid Ali Shah, the last Nawab of Awadh, it grew into a major art form. By the third quarter of 19th century, it was firmly entrenched as a dance form not only in these two regions but in the adjoining areas of the present-day Punjab, Haryana, Jammu Kashmir, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh. Emphasis was laid on intricate and rapid footwork, elaborate costumes, as well as the enactment of stories. Kathak, like several other and cultural practices, was viewed with disfavor by most British administrators in the 19th and 20th century. However, it survived and continued to be performed by courtesans and was recognized as one of the six classical forms of dance in the country after independence. Classical dance forms. The Natya Shastra mentions the pravitis, tradition genres of the ancient dance drama in vogue when it was composed. Avanti Ujjain Central, Dakshinayat South, Panchali Northwest, and Udra Magadhi East. The classical dance form recognized by the Sangeet Natak Academy was the Ministry of Culture are Bharat Natyam from Tamil Nadu, Kathak from Uttar Pradesh, Kathakali from Kerala, Kuchipudi from Andhra Pradesh, Odissi from Odisha, Satriya from Assam, Manipuri from Manipur, Mohiniyattam from Kerala. Famous dancers of Indian classical dance forms. There have been many famous dancers in the Indian classical dance form. Some of these include the Bharatnatyam, Rukmini Devi and Padma Subramaniam, Kathak Sambhu Maharaj, Lachu Maharaj, Sundar Maharprasad, Kathakali Kalamandalam, Krishna Nair, Ramakutti Nair, Kuchipudi Mallika Sarabhai, V. Satyanarayan Sharma, Deepa Shashindran, etc. Odissi Sujata Mohapatra, Madhuri Mudgal. The communication through symbols is the form of expressive gestures, mudras and hastas, and pantomime set to a music. The gestures and the facial expression convey the ras, sentiment, emotional taste, and bhav of the underlying story. In Hindu classical dances, the artist successfully expresses the spiritual ideas by paying attention to the four aspects of performance. Angika, in fact, the five: Angika, gestures and body language; Vachika, song, recitation, music and rhythm; Aharya, stage setting, costume, makeup, jewelry; Satvik, artist mental disposition and emotional connections with the story and audience, wherein the artist's inner and outer state resonates, and Abhinay draws out the bhav. So there are five: Angika, Vachika, Aharya, Satvika, and Abhinay. Let's talk about some paintings. Paintings are for patrons, a tradition of miniatures. Miniature, as the very name suggests, are small size paintings generally done in watercolor on cloth or paper. The earliest miniatures were on the palm leaves and wood. Some of the most beautiful of these were found in the Western India were used to illustrate the Jaina text. The Mughal Emperor Akbar, Jahangir and Shah Jahan patronized highly skilled painters who primarily illustrated manuscripts containing historical accounts and poetry. These were generally painted in brilliant colors and portrayed court scenes, scenes of battles or hunting, and other aspects of social life. They were often exchanged as gifts when were viewed only by the exclusive few, the emperor and his close associates. With the decline of Mughal Empire, many painters moved out of the courts to emerging regional states. Then let's talk about the evolution of the Indian paintings. There are Shadang of the Indian painting, or the ancient text defines six important aspects of painting. These six limbs have been translated as follows: Rupabhed, the knowledge of appearances; Pramanam, correct perception, measure and structure; Bhav, action of feelings or forms; Lavanya Yojanam, infusion of grace, artistic representation; Sadrishyam, similitude; and Varnik Bhang, the artist's manner of using brush and colors. So there are six aspects or Shadang: the Rupbhed, the Praman, the Bhav, the Lavanya Yojam, the Sadrishyam, and Varnik Bhang. Then there are murals. The history of Indian murals started in ancient and early medieval times from 2nd century BC to 8th to 10th century AD. There are known more than 20 locations around India containing murals from this period, mainly natural caves and rock cut chambers. The highest achievements of this time are the caves of Ajanta, Bagh, Sita Navasal, Aramalai Cave, Tamil Nadu; Ravan Chaya rock shelter, Kailash Nath temple in Ellora caves. Murals from this period depict mainly religious themes of Buddhist, Jain and Hindu religions. There are though also locations where paintings were made to adorn the mundane premises, like the ancient theatre room in the Jogimara cave and the possible royal hunting lodge circa 7th century AD, and Ravan Chaya rock shelter. Miniature from before the Mughal. Early survivals of portable Indian painting are all the miniatures from the text, the great majority as painted objects such as boxes. Despite considerable evidences that large paintings on cloth known as pat existed, and that indeed surviving text in discussing how to make them, not to single medieval Indian painting on cloth is known as to survive, unless some Buddhist ones have been taken as Tibetan or from Central Asia. Some of the images recovered by Sir Olive Stein show Hindu deities, both are Buddhist. Eastern India. In the Eastern India, miniature painting survives from the 10th century. These miniatures depicting Buddhist divinities and scenes from the life of Buddha were painted on the leaves, about 2.25 by 3 inches, and on the palm leaf manuscripts as well as the wooden covers. Most common Buddhist illustrated manuscripts include a text Ashtasahasriga Prajaparamita, Pancharaksha, Karandavyuha, Kalachakra Tantra. The earliest extant miniatures are found in the manuscripts of Ashtasaharika Prajaparamita, dated in the sixth traditional years of Mahipal 993, presently possession of the Asiatic Society, Kolkata. This style disappeared from India in the late 12th century. The influence of Eastern Indian paintings can be seen from the various Buddhist temples in the Bagan, Myanmar, particularly Abhaydan Temple, which was named after Queen Consort of Myanmar, Abhaydan, who herself had Indian roots, and Gabu Gayaki Temple. The influences of Eastern India paintings can be clearly observed in the Tibetan Thangka paintings. Western India. Surviving illustrated manuscripts from the Western India, mainly Gujarat, began in around 11th century but are mostly from 13th century onwards. Initially surviving examples are all Jain. By the 15th century, they were becoming increasingly lavish with much use of gold. The manuscript text most frequently illustrated is the Kalpa Sutra, containing the biographies of Tirthankars, notably the Parashvanath and Mahavir. The illustration are squarish panels set in the text with the wiry drawing in brilliant, even jewel-like color. The figures are always seen in the three-quarters view, distinctive long pointed noses and protruding eyes. There is a convention whereby the more distant side of the face protrudes so that the both eyes are seen. Early modern period, the Mughal painting, 1526 to 1857 CE. Mughal painting is a style of Indian painting generally confined to the illustrations on the book and are done in miniatures, and which emerged, developed, and took shape during the period of Mughal Empire between the 16th and the 19th centuries. The Mughal style was heavily influenced by Persian miniatures and in turn influenced several Indian styles, including Rajputs, Pahadis, and Deccan styles of painting. Mughal paintings were a unique blend of Indian, Persian, and Islamic styles because the Mughals were wanted the visual records of their deeds as hunters and conquerors. Their artists accompanied them on the military expeditions of missions or state, or recorded their prowess as enemy slayers, or depicted them in the great dynastic ceremonies of marriages. Akbar's reign, 1556 to 1605, ushered a new era in the Indian miniature painting. After he had consolidated his political power, he built a new capital at Fatehpur Sikri, where he collected artists from India and Persia. He was the first monarch who established in India an atelier earlier under the supervision of the two master artists, Sir Mir Sayyid Ali and Abdul Samad. One of the first productions of the school of miniature painting was the Hamzanam series, which, according to the court historian Badayuni, who was started in 1567 and completed in 1582, the Hamzanam stories of Amir Hamza, an uncle of Prophet, was illustrated by Mir Sayyid Ali. After him, Jahangir encouraged artists to paint portraits and darbar scenes. His most talented painter were Ustad Mansoor, Abul Hasan, and Bishandas. Shah Jahan, 1627 to 1658, continued the patronage of paintings. Some of the major famous artists of the period were Muhammad Fakirullah Khan, Mir Hashim, Muhammad Nadir, Bichitra Chitra, Anup Chattar, Manohar, and Honhar. Aurangzeb had no taste for fine arts, probably due to his Islamic conservatism. Due to the lack of patronage, artists migrated to Deccan and Hindu courts of Rajputana, greatly influencing the styles of these centers. Evolution of Indian paintings continued. Early modern period, 1526 to 1857 CE. Now the Deccan painting. Deccan painting was produced in the Deccan region of Central India in the various Muslim capitals of the Deccan Sultanates that emerged from the breakup of Bahmani Sultanate. These were the Bijapur, Golconda, Ahmednagar, Bidar, and Berar. The main period was between the late 16th century and the mid 17th century, with something of a revival in the mid 18th century, by then centered on Hyderabad. Rajput painting. Several different styles of Rajput painting developed from the 16th century onwards on the Hindu royal courts of Rajputana. Each Rajput kingdom evolved a distinct style, but the certain common features. Rajput paintings depict a number of themes, events of epics like Ramayana and Mahabharata, Krishna's life, beautiful landscapes, and humans. Many miniatures were individual album pieces, but there are illustrated books, and there was at the same time some mural on the walls of palaces, forts, and havelis. Rajput paintings consist of four principal groupings: the Mewar school, that contains the Chhawan, Nadwar, Devgarh, Udaipur, and Savar styles of painting. The Marwar school consists of comprising of Kishangarh, Bikaner style of painting, and Bikaner, Jodhpur, Nagaur, Pali, and Ghanare styles. The Hadoti school with the Kota, Bundi, and Jhalawar styles, and the Dhundar school of Amber, Jaipur, Shekhawati painting, and the Unyar styles of painting. So the Mewar, the Marwar, the Hadoti, and the Dhundar are the four principal groupings of Rajput paintings. So Rajput had a very illustrious painting methods also. Then Pahadi painting. The Pahadi style developed and flourished during the 17th to 19th centuries, stretching the Jammu to Almora and Garhwal in the sub-Himalayan India through Himachal Pradesh. The Pahadi paintings can be grouped into two groups, Jammu and Dogra school and Barsholi and Kangra school. Each created stark variations within the genre, ranging from the bold, intense Barsholi painting originating from Barsholi in Jammu and Kashmir to the delicate and lyrical Kangra paintings, which became synonymous to the style before other schools of paintings developed. Malwa and Jaunpur. A new trend in the manuscript illustration was set by manuscripts at the Nimatnam painted at Mandu during the reign of Nasir Shah 1500 to 1510. This represents the synthesis of the indigenous and patronized Persian style, though it was in the later which dominated the Mandu manuscripts. There was another style of painting known as the Lodi Koladar and flourished in the Sultanate dominion of North India extending from Delhi to Jaunpur. The Mysore painting. Mysore painting is an important form of the classical South Indian painting that originated in the town of Mysore in Karnataka. These paintings were known for their elegance, muted colors, and attention to details. The themes for most of these paintings are Hindu gods and goddesses and scenes from the Hindu mythology. In modern times, these paintings have become a much sought after souvenir during the festive occasions in the South India. The process making a Mysore painting involves many stages. The first stage involves the making of preliminary sketch of the image on the base. The base consists of cartridge paper pasted on the wooden base. A paste of zinc oxide and the graphite gum is made called a gesso paste. With the help of thin brush, all the jewelry and the parts of throne of the arch which have some relief are painted over to give a slightly raised effect on carving. This is allowed to dry. On this thin gold foil is pasted. The rest of drawing is then painted into watercolors. Only muted colors are used. Then Tanjore painting. Tanjore painting is an important form of classical South Indian painting native to the town of Tanjore in Tamil Nadu. The art form dates back to the early 9th century, a period dominated by Chola rulers who encouraged art and literature. These paintings are known for their elegance, rich colors, and attention to detail. These themes for most of the paintings are Hindu gods and goddesses and scenes from Hindu mythology. In modern times, these paintings have become a much sought after souvenir during the festive occasion in South India. The Pattachitra. The Pattachitra refers to the classical painting of Odisha and West Bengal in the eastern region of the India. Patta in Sanskrit means vastra or clothing and chitra means paintings. The Bengal Pattachitra refers to the painting of West Bengal. It's a traditional and mythological heritage of the West Bengal. The Bengal Pattachitra is divided into different aspects like Durga Patt, Chalchitra, Tribal Pattachitra, Medinipur Pattachitra, Kalighat Pattachitra. The tradition of Odisha Pattachitra is closely linked into the worship of Lord Jagannath. Apart from the fragmentary evidence of paintings and the caves of Khandagiri and Udaygiri, Sita Bhinji murals of the 6th century AD, the earliest indigenous paintings from Odisha are the Pattachitra done by the Chitrakars. The painters are called Chitrakars. Madhubani art or Mithila painting. In a style of Indian painting practiced in Mithila region, the Indian subcontinent, the painting is done with a variety of tools including fingers, fig, twigs, brushes and dip pens and matchsticks and using natural dyes and pigments. It is characterized by its eye-catching geometrical pattern. Madhubani painting or Mithila painting was traditionally created by women of various communities in the Mithila region of the Indian subcontinent. It originated from Madhubani district in the Mithila region of the Bihar. Madhubani is also a major export center of these paintings. These paintings as a form of wall art was practiced widely throughout the region. The more recent development of the paintings on paper and canvas mainly originated among the villages of Madhubani, and it is the latter developments that led to the term Madhubani art being used alongside the Mithila painting. The paintings were traditionally done on the freshly colored, plastered mud walls and floors of huts, but now they are also done on cloth, handmade paper and canvas. It's practiced and kept alive in the institutions spread across the Mithila region, Kalakriti in Darbhanga, Vaidehi in Madhubani, Benipatti in Madhubani district, and the Gram Vikas Parishad in Ranti, and some of the major centers of Madhubani painting which have been kept in the ancient art form alive. Madhubani art has 5 distinctive styles: the Bharani, the Kachani, the Tantrik, the Godan, and the Kohabar. Miniature paintings. Besides themes in mythology and poetry were depicted at centers such as Mewar, Jodhpur, Bundi, Kota, and Kishangarh. Other regions that attracted miniature paintings were the Himalayan foothills around the modern day of Himachal Pradesh. By the late 17th century, this region had developed a bold and intense style of miniature paintings called Bhasholi. The most popular text to be painted here was Bhanu Datta's Ras Manjari, or point to be noted, Bhanu Datta created Ras Manjari. Nadir Shah's invasion and conquest of Delhi in 1739 resulted in the migration of Mughal artists to the hills to escape the uncertainties of the plains. By the mid 18th century, the Kangra artists developed a style which breathed a new spirit into miniature paintings. The source of inspiration was Vaishnavite tradition. Soft colors, including the cool blues and greens, and lyrical treatment of the themes distinguished the Kangra painting. Now let's talk about the pirs and temples in Bengal. Pir or Pir is a title for a Sufi master or spiritual guide. The title is often translated into English as a saint and could be interpreted as elder. In Sufism, Pir's role is to guide and instruct his disciples in Sufi path. This is done by the general lessons called subhas or suhbas and individual guidance. Other words that refer to a Pir is called Murshid. Pir Baba is common in the Indian subcontinent, used as a salutation to the Sufi masters or simply honored persons. After their death, people visit the tombs of Masola, referred to as Dargah or Maqbara. A Pir usually has authorizations to be teacher for one tariqas, and the tariqa may also have more than one pir at a time. A pir is accorded that status by the sheikh by a way of khilafat or khilafa, Arabic word meaning succession, a process in which the pir identifies one of the disciples as successor, which may be more than one. The term pir is also used by Nizari Ismailis, whose missionaries in the past have used the title pir. The current Nizari Ismaili Imam Aga Khan IV is also said to be pir within the Nizari Ismaili Shia sect. The term includes the saints and Sufis and other religious personalities, daring colonizers and defied soldiers, various Hindu and Buddhist deities, and even animistic spirits. The cult of peers became very popular and the shrines can be found everywhere in Bengal. When the local deities once worshipped in thatched huts in the villages gained the recognition of Brahmanas, their images began to be housed in the temples. The temples began to copy the double-roofed tochal or four-roofed chochal structure of the thatched huts. This led to the evolution of typical Bengali style in temple architecture. The fish as food in Bengal. Traditional food habits are generally based on the locally available items of food. Bengal is a riverine plain which produces a plenty of rice and fish. Understandably, these two items figure prominently in the menu of the poor, even poor Bengalis. Fishing had always been an important occupation, and Bengali literature contains several references to fish. What is more, terracotta plaques on the walls of temples and vihars. The Buddhist monasteries depict scenes of fish being dressed and taken to the market in baskets. Brahmanas were not allowed to eat non-vegetarian food, but the popularity of fish in the local diet made Brahmanic authorities relax its prohibition for the Bengal Brahmanas. The Brihad Dharma Puran, a 13th century Sanskrit text from Bengal, permitted the local Brahmanas to eat certain varieties of fish. So hope you learnt a lot from this, and you learnt a lot from this lecture for competitive exam as well. Thank you for watching. Bye bye and have a nice day.